Did you listen to Jeff and Professor Hamo in the morning? Here's what you
Let's
missed.
explain how Jomo Kenyatta got his name, right? Because everyone, or very few people know his original name of Kamawa Gegi. That was his, that was his original name, Kamawa Gegi.
Guy.
And he was a water meter reader.
Kajua maji. Alikuwa kukata mita.
Nairobi, correct. Nairobi water.
Alikuwa Nairobi water. Alikuwa in Nairobi.
In Nairobi.
Guy.
And you know, he spoke wonderful English, and he had this, huge, deep baritone voice. So, the colonials...
So it runs in the family. That is one thing unajaribu kusema. Chini tu ya maji, obviously.
Control a situation or, conduct himself with such confidence.
Yes, around hii wazungu ambao watu walikuwa.
So, going back... in the late 1920s, the Kikuyu Central Association, KCA, was sending a petition to London.
Yes.
And they picked him.
Huyu mtu wa maji.
Yes. Because, they're very few eloquent people.
Yes.
They picked him to go take their petition to London. Because the colonial office here refused to hear their petition. Wakasema tutatuma hii barua. Kuna email those days, au WhatsApp.
Ni tume na meli.
Na meli. So he gets on a boat. Straight to the UK, delivers the petition, right? And while he's in the UK, he's hanging out. He says, "Hey man, let me just hang out here. This is a cool place."
Yeah.
So he's hanging out in the UK. He meets a woman, marries her. In the meantime, he's traveling to Eastern Europe. Those days was, East Germany. Talking about, all these issues, the African. He would also, in the UK, he would stand in a place called Trafalgar Square.
Trafalgar.
Yeah, very famous square where anybody on the planet, you go, you stand on a podium, and you start talking. Jivanjia huko.
Unakuja tu unasimama.
Jivanji.
Wewe mwenye atakusikiza atakusikiza.
Yes. Imagine, and he would do that day in, day out, talking about the plight of Africans. Right?
Yes.
So, in the meantime, my uncle, Mbio Koinange.
Your uncle?
Yes, my father's brother.
Yes.
He had gone to America in 1927 to school, sent on a ship to school, because his father, the senior chief, said, you know what, we have to educate our children.
Yes.
So he's put on a ship, sent to America, a place he had never known. He couldn't even speak the language. He lands in a place called Hampton, Virginia. Hampton, Virginia, right outside Washington, D.C. And he's there in a school, right? He's he obviously can't speak the language, so he's delayed a few years. These people don't know who this person is. He can't even express himself because, he's just come from the native lands. So anyway, fast forward, he finishes his first degree, diploma, and then he goes to a school in Ohio called Wesleyan. He goes there, finishes his first degree. After that, he's into it. He loves school, he's learning a lot. And he gets accepted as the first Kenyan ever to get a master's degree from Columbia University in New York City. Wow. He does that, finishes, and he's still hungry for education. He says, from Columbia, I'm going to LSE, London School of Economics. Gets on a boat, arrives in LSE, and he's studying now. His postdoctorate. And he meets up with this guy who's been in London for a while, just hanging out. He's been in Trafalgar Square, he's been talking to Africans. They meet up. And he says, hey, Kamau. And they know each other from way back. Kamau Gengi, what's going on? What's up? And they speak. Kenyatta is a little envious because this guy has 3 degrees. And Kenyatta has just been, tanga
maji tu anakata.
But they develop this relationship, and in fact, Mbio invites Kenyatta to some of his classes. Yes. And Kenyatta gets in the classes taught by a very famous Polish professor called Malinowski. Yeah, he was a very famous Polish professor, and he loves Kenyatta. And he says, "Man, why don't you stay here and you can even study anthropology because you seem to know the history of your people." Kenyatta loves it, so he's in class. Mbio's in class. They're hanging out, and then Mbio tells Kenyatta, "Listen, why don't you write about what you talk about, because this oral history will never get us anywhere. Write about it." Kenyatta starts writing. He's inspired. They write a book and they say, wow, this is great. It's about traditions, coming of age, all that stuff. What should we call it? And they thought. They said, okay, how about Facing Mount Kenya? Because, you know, that's what we
Kirinyaga.
do. We face Mount Kenya. That's a great title. People will love it. Guess this, yes, Facing Mount Kenya by Kamau Wangengi. Bio looks at him and says, you know what? Let's think about that name.
Yeah.
Because people will not know who this Kamau.
Kamau Wangengi, no.
It won't work.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're very famous for wearing that Maasai belt. People love it. When they see you, they recognize you with your Maasai belt.
Hii wanakuwa wamefuga wakizungusha dawa huku town.
Yes. So the Maasais, they call this belt Kenyatta.
Kenyatta.
Kenyatta with a K-I.
Ah, Kenyatta.
Yes. That's what the Maasais call it. Why don't we call you Kenyatta? He says, Bill, yes, now you're talking. You love it. So Kamau Kenyatta, no, Kamau is not quite right. Let's look for a first name, you know, just to go with Kenyatta.
Yes.
So they're thinking, they're there, they're benchmarking,
They are the first MCAs.
Correct.
Yes.
They say, what do we do? What name do we come up with?
Yes.
So Bio turns to him and says, you know what? This sword that our people carry all the time.
Jora. Yes.
Rohirwa Jora.
Yes.
We carry it all the time and we sheath it on our side here, right?
Yes.
With a leather whatever container.
Yes, you unaingiza ndani.
Exactly. And when you pop it out, when you pop out this Jora,
yes,
it has this sound that goes Jomo. Jomo.
Ah.
It sounds
So
like Jomo.
Ah, yeah.
And they said, we'll call it. How about if we call you Jomo Kenyatta?
Oh, man.
You can't eat this stuff. That's the story of how the name
Jomo Kenyatta
came about.
Man, mtu wa kukata maji.
The water meter reader.
Kamau Wangengi to
became Jomo Kenyatta. And the book, Facing Mount Kenya, is still available to this day.
Oh, man.
What a story. What a man. This is what we call a story a day.
Catch Jeff Koinange and Professor Hamo every day, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Hot 96.